I always thought it would be cool if you could go back and listen to the day-to-day of today's highest achievers as it happened, as opposed to 30 years later after they've made it. I believe there's a giant disconnect between ground zero and the top floor because we only see the top floor and the top floor only talks about the top. How valuable would that be? And so it goes without saying, but I believe I'll make it there. And this is a documented journey through each level. My name is Bryson Sessions, and you are listening to the Bed Podcast.
This might be a show of just random shit, just because that's where I'm at right now. I don't really have any topic planned, but I will say that after about a week or so ago, I said that the cut is super easy at the moment. I think I've reached either a point where I've kind of adapted to the way that I'm eating. So I'm kind of getting hungrier earlier in the day, and I'm still eating about 2750 calories. So based on me waking up so early and trying to eat and stuff, I'm going to have to start spreading out what I do eat or eating less of during the day so that later in the day I can eat more and not be so damn hungry. And I could throw in a lot more vegetables and lean meats and stuff to satisfy that hunger, because right now I do have a lot of things like sandwiches and protein bars. And I could easily replace, for example, a Cliff Bar with just a tiny bit of chicken or something like that, and then some rice or some potatoes or something like that. And I can just go to the store and buy that. And of course, I'm over meal prepping, but I'd rather meal prep than starve. So that's that. And then another thought I had was, so it's another thing by Alex Hormozi. Yet again, man's a fucking genius. I'm learning a lot from him. But he breaks down I don't know what you call it, and I'm going to butcher the hell out of this, but pretty much when you are going through a power lift prep to get to build up the strength to perform on meat day, the way that you prepare for that is you lift heavy and heavy and heavy and heavy weights, and throughout the process of doing so, you're kind of doing all of that through fatigue, and you're not really doing the weight and the reps and everything from a place of being fresh and ready to go and ready to kill it. You're doing so from a place of fatigue and exhaustion. So your best under the circumstances of the fatigue and the exhaustion and stuff is just that. That's your best under those circumstances. And so you think you're not making progress, when in reality you are making progress, but it's being masked by the exhaustion and the fatigue. So you're always working under that, state of exhaustion. You're not going to see the improvement because you're always working under that. So with that being said, it gets me thinking about everything that I'm doing now, especially with phase 3, because I'm just mentally just fried. There's just so many things that I have to check off per day, and I have to get them done. There's no negotiating, there's no compromising. I will get those done. I have to, no matter what. And trying to balance all that and hit the gym and record these shows and do just normal everyday life shit, like cleaning and putting my laundry away, just doing all the things, right? Some basic shit plus everything else. It's just becomes so just hard. It sounds so silly to say that, but like putting my laundry away and cleaning my countertops, dude. Oh my hell, Normally, I would say, hell yeah, let me do that. That's a way for me to procrastinate so I can put off the thing that I know I need to do, put that off and do it later. But now it's like, dude, I don't want to do anything. I just want to sleep. And a lot of that is because I am not sleeping all too well at the moment, I would say. So that sucks. I don't know what's going on. I'm just not sleeping the greatest. And with phase 3, it's just, I don't know, I'm just tired a lot. So that's a little update on that. As far as what I'm working on right now, it's still the coaching program. Probably will be doing that for another month or two, hopefully sooner. But I just want to make sure that I have an offer that is just great. Not perfect, but just so good that it would make someone feel dumb saying no. And we're jaywalking. So that's the goal with that. I'm trying to, I don't feel like I'm procrastinating. I do feel like, I do feel like I need to be working harder and faster though to get this thing off the ground. But there's so many things that I want to do with it and so many things that I deem as valuable and critical in the program, but that are going to take me a little bit of extra time and money to make happen. So I'm trying to balance that because I'm also trying not to spend any money at all, any big purchases and expenses, because I've got a wedding coming up I'm going to, turning that into a little vacation. And then in doing so, I'm taking work off, so I'm not getting paid from FedEx, stuff like that. So it sucks, but it is what it is. I'll figure it out. And I think especially because I've been so tired and exhausted the last couple of weeks, the negative thoughts, self-doubts, all that stuff, those have been creeping in a lot more often, more often than not. Right now, I'm really discouraged and feeling like I'm just going to fail again and stuff like that, and having flashbacks of all the times that it didn't work out, right? Because I've done this successfully and not even necessarily tried. And I keep reminding myself of that. It's episode 237B. I made $6,061 doing this without even trying. And I say without even trying because all I did was post content here and there. I was really lazy with delivery. There was one client I had, and I remember I had to delay something of his days every single week because I was just so tired and didn't want to do it, And this man's paying me money. How big of a piece of shit can I get? And I wasn't DMing 100 people a day. I probably messaged 100 people total in the span of a year and a half or however long it was. Go listen to the episodes, 237B, if you want to listen to a little bit more detail about that. But never got on one sales call, never got on one phone call, never did anything like that whatsoever. I made $6,000 doing it. So if I really try and I put the effort into making quality content, giving away free things, messaging 100 people a day, which the more I say that and more I think about it, it just seems so out there right now. Because if I message 100 people today, that's fine, but 20 of those people are going to respond. So does that mean I have to message 120 people tomorrow? And then does that keep going and going and going? And pretty soon I'm messaging 300 people? Jesus, bro. So how does that work, So that's one of the many things that I've got to learn and experience for myself. Maybe when I start, maybe it's not going to be 100. Maybe it's only going to be 50. And we'll see how that goes. So there's that. Got a lot of discouraging thoughts. So do my best to just stay the course, recognize those thoughts for what they are, and they're just distractions. And I'm tired, I'm exhausted, at this point I'm doing everything I can to just stay above water. And with everything, so here's what I do on a daily basis now with Live Hard. So I also swap my schedule around, so now I'm doing both workouts after work, and that might be the reason why I have so much extra time, which doesn't make sense mathematically whatsoever. But that's the only thing that changed in my schedule, in my day-to-day. And now I just have hours at the end of my day. So I don't know what's going on. But I work 10-hour shift, then I go to the gym directly after. And then between about 3 o'clock and about 8 o'clock, I read 10 pages. I finish a gallon of water. I eat all my food, get my protein in, 225 grams of protein. Take an ice bath in there. I take a 5-minute cold shower. I stretch for 15 minutes. I work on my business. I declare something I'm going to work on, and I finish it. So whether that's writing this or that or making this table or whatever, just nothing that takes days to make. It's just if I can do it. It could just be formatting a header for something and making it look nice and then copying and pasting that throughout the whole document or something like that. So we've got that, but then we've got another outdoor workout we've got this podcast that I do, and then I go and write about it, and then I go and upload it. And then we've got tracking every single piece of food that I eat. And then we've got taking a progress photo. We've got no cheat meals, no alcohol, no social media, no caffeine, no drink that isn't water. Literally, that's the only fluid I will consume. And I'm only doing that because I want to make it hard on myself. And I'm doing a great job at that, dude. Holy shit. Let's see, what else is there? I might be missing a couple things. But I'm doing that right now on a daily basis. And that's just Live Hard Phase 3. If I weren't on the program, I would still be working out, but only 5 times a week, not 14. I would be reading probably 5 times a week. I would probably also, so the podcast stays, everything like the water. So not a lot changes, but it's just having to balance that and having to stay on top of things like that makes it so difficult. Kind of fries my mental bandwidth, and I've talked about that as well. But anyway, I'm just doing my best to stay above water. So I don't think there's anything else I wanted to really share on this one. It's just a little random one, just sharing thoughts. But to anyone who's listening in 7 years, right now I'm discouraged. Good self-doubts are creeping in, but just due to, I guess, me recognizing patterns and whatever you want to call it, I've noticed now that I only feel this way when I sleep like shit, or don't get enough rest, or I'm just tired, or I'm kind of not organized. So knowing that, it's kind of proof right there that I need to get better organized. I need to prioritize different tasks in my day, and I need to get adequate sleep. And that would solve my problems right there. So when I think about that and I keep that frame of mind, reassures me that I'm doing all right. I'm just not making the best plays right now. And that's okay, because as I've discussed multiple times in the show, shitty plays, poorly designed plays, whatever, can still score points. So with that being said, that's the show. And I'll talk to you later. Peace.
Hey, thanks for listening, and a quick reminder here. So this podcast doesn't prioritize professionalism or quality at all. It's just meant to be a shoot from the hip type podcast with the intent just to get a quick message out. So some episodes might be inaudible in 30 seconds and others might be 45 minutes and super crisp sounding. So all these are being made so that by episode 7,305, which is 20 years, we can come back and see the entire playbook of how I made it to wherever I'm going. So thank you so much for listening. I really appreciate it. I'll talk to you soon.